My whole life has been outdoors except for going off into politics. Getting outside is absolutely essential for my own state of mind.
Growing up in Southern California, we were always out in the sun. I used to sail. We used to go out to Catalina Island every summer, and my dad surfs, and I used to go out and swim while he would surf. Being tan was a big part of my life. Being in San Diego is the look, but I wish that I was more aware of just wearing sunscreen. I thought my parents didn't want me to get a sunburn, but in reality, there's a big danger being out in the sun.
1 in 5 Americans, sometime in their lifetime, is likely to develop some form of skin cancer. That's 1 in 5 of our neighbors and people around this country.
I didn't even know what skin cancer was until I was about 16. When I did find out about it, I was like, that won't happen to me. You always think it will never happen to you. My melanoma started on my shin. I saw a mole that looked bad, and I just kept on putting it off. I was like, yeah, I should probably get rid of it. If anything, I just thought it was ugly and I wanted to get rid of it, but I had a lot going on, so I kept on pushing it back. My entire family told me I'd go get that checked out, and finally when I did, the doctor was completely like, whoa, this is really bad. And sure enough, 2 days later, she called me and told me it was a really deep melanoma.
I got a text from Brianna saying she had been diagnosed with melanoma, that the mole that I asked her to take a look at and have looked at was cancerous. It really brought home what's really important.
The doctors told me that there was no real set treatment for melanoma, so they gave me a few options and pretty much just picked one out of the hat. They told me I was going to go through chemo, it was going to be hard, and I had 40% chance it was going to come back. Since I've been diagnosed with melanoma, I had to go through a bunch of surgeries, and then once I healed from that, I had to go through 4 months of chemotherapy. And they also told me that, one of the side effects of this is that I might not be able to have kids, and that was kind of hard for me to grasp.
How old do you think you were there?
When I was diagnosed and going through what I had to go through, Dad got diagnosed with a different kind of skin cancer.
Our diagnosis happened very close together, almost 2 weeks apart. I was diagnosed with squamous carcinoma, which is from a long-term exposure. I had a white patch right on my lip, went in, had it checked, and the dermatologist said, yes, we're going to do a biopsy. It came out positive. I actually had the dermatologist go in and cut the cancer out one day and had to schedule the next day for plastic surgery. So those are the kind of things you want to try to avoid by making sure you keep an eye on the problem and it doesn't reach this stage.
It's been about a year since I did chemo, and I've relapsed twice. Until, something's done and they find a treatment that can stop this disease, I'm gonna be going through this probably the rest of my life. The pain that I'm putting my family through because of my negligence is like the worst feeling in the world, and all I had to do was wear sunscreen.
The fact is, seeking shade, covering up, and wearing sunscreen should be the priorities. It's absolutely essential that everyone understand it's our job to detect skin cancer. When you start seeing changes, something that doesn't look like it did before, that's the time to have it checked. Your body is telling you something's going on and you better be on top of it. And whenever in a doubt, go talk to a dermatologist, find out about it.
I'm Brianna Bilbray.
And I'm Congressman Bilbray.
And we're helping to put a spotlight on skin cancer.